Now that the tripod mast is installed, I can install the starfish platform and the spotting top. I had previously modified this area quite a lot. The existing notches that were in the rear legs of the tripod mast has been removed, and the position of the forward leg of the mast might have also moved a bit to accommodate the photo etch platform. I also moved the upper ADP back a little bit, which meant that the notch that was in that platform has also moved. So really, the forward leg of the tripod mast is entirely positioned based on the location of this platform. Nevertheless, I don't think that is going to be much of a problem. In a way, it makes the installation of the spotting top a little bit easier because there's only the forward leg of the tripod mast that I need to use to align the starfish platform. To install the spotting top, I apply Revell Contactor Professional to the top of the tripod mast and then place the spotting top onto the top of the tripod mast. Revell Contactor Professional will take some time to dry, but it will almost immediately be tacky. That will give me the time that I need to correctly position the spotting top. While the glue is still wet, I adjust the position of the spotting top to ensure that it is straight and level. Once I'm happy with its position, I leave the component to dry overnight. Now that the spotting top is firmly attached, I can start working on the details that go in the area. It probably would have been easier to cut off this section of overhang before I installed it, but I didn't think of it at the time. So I just need to cut off this styrene stock that I had added on previously, just using my hobby knife to cut through the plastic. It is very thin, so it does cut quite easily. Although, in the process of cutting these strips, I did seem to dislodge the glue, so I need to glue them back down again. I'm using extra thin super glue for this. After reattaching that section of overhang, I just need to clean it up with a little bit of sanding. I will repaint the area a bit later. But before I move on to painting, I'll prepare the handrails. This platform on the side of the spotting top needs to have a section of handrailing that runs its length. Going to use 2-rung hand railing to construct this section. Once again, I'm just using stock hand railing that I have left over, and I'm just going to bend it in the appropriate location such that it fits this platform. To ensure that the hand railing is folded squarely and neatly, I'm using the photo etch folding tool. This will impart a nice crisp corner onto the part. I've also gone through my stash of excess photo etch and selected some ladder which I'll install in the section. Before I install the ladder and hand railing, especially the ladder, I need to paint the windows because the windows are behind the ladder, which is going to make them a little bit more difficult to access. I mean, technically I only need to paint one window, but I might as well paint all of the windows at the same time. I'm going to paint the inside of the windows in black XF1. I just use a fine brush to do this. While painting, I do get a bit of black paint on the outside of the windows, so after it's dried, I need to do another pass with XF53 to touch up that excess paint on the exterior of the windows. After brush painting, I then move on to painting with an airbrush. First, I'm going to touch up the roof of the spotting top. This is where I'd sand off that excess glue from the repair to that overhang. And then I'm going to paint the ladder, hand railing, and this boom in XF53. After the paint has dried, the parts can be installed. First, I cut the ladder to length, and then I apply a small drop of extra thick super glue to the top of the section where the ladder will be installed. I then gently place the ladder into position and maneuver it with tweezers such that it is sitting correctly. I then apply a little bit of extra thick super glue to the bottom of the handrails, and then put it in position. Once the handrail and ladder is tacked in place, I then reinforce the bond with extra thin super glue that I apply to the edge using a wire. The next piece of photo etch that needs to be installed is this boom. It's just a simple piece of photo etch. It is quite delicate. To install it, I apply extra thick super glue to its base and then put it in contact with the platform. Once tacked in place, I then reinforce the bond with extra thin super glue. Next, I'm going to install yet more voice pipes. The voice pipes come out of the top of the trunking that I had installed in previous videos and get routed up to the underside of the starfish platform. I'm using 0.2mm lead wire to construct this voice pipe. There are going to be 4 voice pipes on each side. I'm going to take 2 out of each strip of trunking. I don't exactly know where the trunking should go, so I'm just giving it a best estimate, so to speak, and I'm routing it to a location that I think is sensible. All the voice pipes are installed in the same way. I start by tacking one of the ends to the top of the trunking. This is done using extra thick super glue. I then route the lead wire a little bit further and glue it down using more extra thin super glue. I repeat this process until I get the lead wire to the location where I want it to end. Once it is in its end location, I cut it to length using my hobby knife. Since lead wire is very soft and malleable, this process is actually very easy to complete. It's just a matter of deciding where you want the voice pipe to go and then carefully routing it along that path. Once one of the lead wires is in place, it's very easy to get the second lead wire to follow along the exact same path. I've decided to route the voice pipes in pairs, so the two voice pipes that come out of the forward trunking go to one location and the two voice pipes that come out of the aft trunking go to a slightly different location. Once I've routed the 4 voice pipes on the port side of the ship, I then repeat the process on the starboard side of the ship. From what I've seen, these voice pipes are a little bit messy, so it doesn't concern me too much if they're not perfectly symmetrical. But I am trying to at least make them look quite neat. Bear in mind that what I'm doing here is not supported by any evidence. I do know that the voice pipes do go up to the spotting top, but I have no idea of the exact route that they take. What I'm doing here is more to illustrate that there were voice pipes in the area, not that there was a particular location where those voice pipes actually were. So call this a bit of artistic license. Once I've routed all the voice pipes and they're in a state that I'm happy with, I can then paint them in black. Unfortunately, the reality of painting things with black paint means that they are going to be very difficult to see, especially the details. And in this case, when it's on the underside of a platform sitting in the shadow, it's going to be even more difficult to see the details. But if somebody looks under this platform, they will see some voice pipes, and that might be a detail that they'll appreciate. I certainly think that all these little modifications that I've made to this part of the superstructure has made quite a lot of difference. On their own, they're all quite small, but when you combine them all together, it's quite dramatic how much this area of the superstructure has been changed from stock. In the next video, I'm going to continue to work on this area of the superstructure by installing the radar hood. Once the radar hood is installed, I'll come back down and install that rod that sticks out of the platform in the tripod mast and put on that last boom. If you would like to support this channel or see how this ship looks when it is completed, then please subscribe. Thanks for watching. Cheers.